Imagine reading an interesting manhwa, but then you find out that it only has a few chapters. You feel disappointed. Well, then this video is for you. Today we are going to talk about manhwas and mangas which have more than 400 chapters. And so we start our list with number 10, that is Spirit Blade Mountain. A comet falling will bring about a great calamity, and in order to choose a child fated by the falling comet, the family of Raken clan with a long storied history is once again resuming its entrance exam process to find new disciples. The protagonist, Oriku, who possesses a special soul that only appears once in 1,000 years, decides to take the exam, and he starts down the path towards becoming an exceptional sage. The manhwa starts off with fun, a lot of comedy is there, and as we move later on, we see character development. The main character at the start of this manhwa is not overpowered, he is a weak guy, but he is intelligent, he is smart, and the art is also decent. So overall, it's a good read to pass your time. Number 9 on our list is Magician Kim Sara. It is one of the most underrated manhwas. And why am I saying so? Because have you ever heard the name of this manhwa? It has more than 525 chapters. This manhwa officially ended in September 2020. The story is something like this. In the village of Adat, Irmi is a tomboy, the granddaughter of a local witch. She sees the infamous mage, Adamask, and roots her to hometown. Wanting to find out who is stronger, she sets off to challenge him with her childhood friend Enzu, a novice swordsman who is always being dragged around wherever she goes. However, in the background, there is a war going on between two powerful nations, Teodol and Aluman, in order to rule the sea. I really loved the manhwa. The story might be slow-paced, but the manhwa is really good. It has interesting characters with a great story and character development. I guess it is slow in the beginning, but it will make you get more attached to the characters. The art here is also very unique, so I think you should try this manhwa. Number 8 on our list is The Boy in the All-Girls School. Now this manhwa is more on the comedy side rather than on the action side. Well, you already guessed it after hearing the name. This manhwa also has harem in it. This is a school life comedy romance manhwa. In an all-girls school full of jaw-dropping beauties, a male student suddenly transfers in. Perhaps in the eyes of others, this world would be a dream-like paradise, but in reality, the future is completely unimaginable. So as you already know by the summary that this manhwa is just like a transfer student entering a school that is full of girls. The art here is decent, and the manhwa is very funny. Those guys who love romance, school life and comedy, they should definitely give this manhwa a try. And on number 7 we have Kingdom. During the Warring States period in China, Li Xin and Piao are two brother-like youngsters who dream of becoming great generals, despite their low status as orphan slaves. One day they encounter a man of nobility who gives Piao an opportunity to undertake an important duty within the state of Qin's royal palace. Parting ways, Qin and Piao promise each other to one day become the greatest generals in the world. However, after a fierce coup d'etat occurs in the palace, Xin meets with a dying Piao, whose last words spur him into action and lead him to encounter the young and soon-to-be king of Qin, Ying Zhang. Although initially on bad terms, Xin and Zheng become comrades and start on a path filled with trials and bloodshed. Zheng's objective is to bring all the warring states under Qin, and Xin seeks to climb to the top of the army ranks. Against a backdrop of constant tactical battle between the states and great political unrest both outside and within the palace, the two endeavor towards their monumental ambitions that will change history forever. I can describe this manga with only one word, and that is, it's a masterpiece. Number 6 on our list is Rebirth of the Urban Immortal Cultivator. This is one of those manhwas in which the main character is already too overpowered from the start. In the previous life, our main character was at the top of the universe overlooking the world. But now he has returned 500 years before, the time when our main character was just a boy living on Earth. This is one of those manhwas in which the main character is too overpowered but he pretends to be weak. It's a good cultivation type manhwa for beginners, so make sure to read it. Number 5 on our list is Versatile Mage. Our main character wakes up in a familiar world that has vastly changed. His familiar school had become a mystical school that teaches magic, encouraging everyone to become a mighty magician. Outside of the city, many wandering magical beasts and monsters attack and prey on humans. Our main character's world of advanced science changed into one that praised magic. Despite this, his ambition in life and his social status remained the same. One of the dregs of the society with a struggling father and a disabled stepsister that could not walk. However, Mofan finds out that when most people could only practice a single major element of magic, he was a versatile mage and could control multiple elements of magic. And thus, the overpowered show of our main character begins. This manhwa also has an anime adaptation, but believe me guys, the anime is not as good as the manhwa. And on number 4 we have Martial Master. The legendary martial master, Qin Shen, also known as Simon, was betrayed by friends and persecuted to death. 300 years later, he is reborn as an illegitimate child of the royal family, who was ultimately deceived. With his past powers and memories, Simon again creates his legend in the land. Surely, this is a manhwa that is full of revenge and reconquer road filled with blood. The art here is decent, it is just like your other cultivation type manhwas. The story is also good and the main character is overpowered. Number 3 on our list is Apotheosis. Apotheosis is the elevation to the status of a god. Luo Zheng, now a humble slave, was born as the eldest son of a wealthy family. Due to his family's decline, the kidnapping of his sister by a powerful force, he can now only be stepped upon by others. However, heaven never seals of all exits. An ancient book left by his father reveals a secret divine technique, giving the reader immense power. At the start of this manhwa, the main character is very weak. But then he trains really hard, and after many chapters you will see our main character getting more and more overpowered. It has more than 700 chapters, and by the time you reach 700 chapter you will see that the main character becomes so overpowered. And you know what is the driving force for the main character to train? That is to protect his sister. It's a very good cultivation type manhwa. So if you have not read it, then make sure to give it a read. Number 2 on our list is Star Martial God Technique. In ancient times, there once were many types of martial arts. Sadly, the world underwent terrible changes and only 3 were left: Flame Martial Arts, Dragon Martial Arts and Star Martial Arts. Generations of experts of those 3 martial arts search for Road of Immortality. Out of all these 3 martial arts, the most difficult one is Star Martial Arts. And that is the martial arts that our main character has. This is the story of a boy who starts his journey as a Star Martial Arts practitioner and plans to become the highest god. If you have read Tales of Demons and Gods and are searching for a manhwa that comes close to it, then I will recommend you to go with this manhwa. Because not only does the main character enroll in a magic cultivation type academy, but as the story progresses, the main character becomes more and more stronger. The art here is decent and the story is amazing. And on number 1 we have Martial Peak. The journey to the Martial Peak is a lonely, solitary and a long one. In the face of adversity, you must survive and remain unyielding. Only then can you break through and continue on your journey to become the strongest. Sky Tower tests its disciples in the harshest ways to prepare them for the journey. One day, the lowly sweeper, Yang Kai, who is our main character, managed to obtain a black book. And that black book changes everything, setting him on the road to the peak of the martial world. At the start of this manhwa, I thought of dropping it because who was going to read a manhwa which has more than 500 to 600 chapters? And also the main character was very weak at the start. He was getting beaten and bullied by his seniors. But after he gets that mysterious black book, he becomes so overpowered and he beats everyone. He gets back at those bullies and even the saints are afraid of him. And as the story progresses, he literally makes a harem for himself. This manhwa is everything: action, adventure, romance, harem, comedy, etc. All the guys who are beginners to cultivation type manhwas, make sure to try this one. Thank you for watching the video and I hope that you liked it. Could you subscribe to our channel because that will ultimately help you find new and interesting manhwas and mangas. See you in the next video. Have a very beautiful day.